is, man. Detroit versus everybody, man. Detroit, we rep the hardest, man. We gain the hardest. You know what it is, man. Detroit, CJ, holla at your boy when we get home.
Yo, this is Deontay the Bronx from Wild, the WBC heavyweight champion of the world. I'd like to give a big shout out to CJ Goodfellow, Sports TV. Bomb Squad, baby.
Sight man in boxing. Sight man in boxing. Landon Flair Cobbs. Shout out to Goodfellow Sports TV.
Hey, Steven, man, you really believe that stuff? Oh, man, come on. You really believe that stuff you be saying?
Speaking of that one belt, there is a, select the boxing fans who want to see Errol take on Terence Crawford. What is hindering this fight from happening, in your opinion?
Economics. And you don't really want to insult a guy like Terence Crawford, who's a tremendous talent. And I'm not taking away anything from his talent, but he hasn't been built into a pay-per-view star. And I'm not saying that to throw shade at the guy, but you got to go on his track record. You got to go and look at what he's done, in the pay-per-view fights that he's been at, been involved in. And, that it's not my job to tell anybody how to make him a pay-per-view star. We have enough work on our hands dealing with, trying to make our own guys into pay-per-view stars, but he just hasn't been built. And trust me, if there is money in him fighting Errol Spence where he could get what he wants and Errol could get what he wants, that fight would get made. But you don't want to insult the guy. Nobody wants to insult this guy and make him an offer that's insulting. Nobody wants to do that. Like I said, he's a proud champion, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that to him. But from a business standpoint, it's a fight that, might excite the fans and all these people that are out there yelling about pay-per-view and too much they're not buying it anyway. They're not going to plop down any money to make it, successful. They're going to steal the fight, but, they're not going to support it on pay-per-view, and the numbers, won't be enough to give him what he needs or not necessarily what he needs, but what he wants. And I don't know what that number is, but I would think that number, would be very high. I'm not involved in those talks, but that's just looking at the sport historically. I just don't, I don't think he should be insulted. I really don't.
All right, that was the Vice President of Premier Boxing Champions, Mr. Tim Smith. He's done several interviews with Nestor Gibbs of the Boxing Voice. So if you want to, kind of see more about what he said, I remember he dissed the YouTubers and shit, man. But that's him right there saying that. He said a few things. He said they negotiate. If you listen, he said they're negotiating. All right. He said they negotiating, but he not in those negotiations. Hold on. Yeah, he says he's not in those negotiations, but he says that he believes he thinks it's economics. Now, I had a really good source that called and told me he was going live, not yesterday's show, but I think it was the show after yesterday. It was what's yesterday? I think it might have been Wednesday's show, and they called in and said that the fight is gonna happen. Now most people, Fred broke the news from Barbertime Conversation that Errol had tax issues. Some people behind the scenes confirmed that, and they basically gave us a time frame that he had those issues. And like I said, if he had those issues, and they said since the Mikey Garcia fight, but if he had those issues, then he sure ain't been on the hop since then. So I don't know how bad the issue is. The issue could be $100. Issue could be a statement they sent. Like I said before, we don't know how bad those issues are. So I mean, at the end of the day, that is what it is. And they ain't repoing his shit. Okay, so I don't think they're as serious as people leading on to be. But most people say that might force him to have to fight. But if you listen here, he said economics is what's stopping his money. That's what he's saying. Money is what's stopping this. And my thing, if it's money that's stopping this, why didn't y'all split the bill with Top Rank? And then also, we spoke on this last night. I wanted to do another video on it, kind of get my point clear across the point with anybody else on here. The other thing about it was he said that he went on to say that he wasn't built up right. And my whole thing is this, bro. My whole thing is this. If he wasn't built up right, bro, bet, right? Facts. But who have y'all built up? That's the question. Who have y'all built up? Who have y'all said, here this is, here this guy, here he is. All right. Bam. Who y'all made into a star? Wilder? Cool. Outside of Wilder, outside of Wilder and Mayweather, who have they built into a star? And my thing, if the economics is there, is that saying that Top Rank can afford Terence Crawford, but y'all can't? And just throwing somebody on pay-per-view don't make them a pay-per-view star. Doing 350 with Mikey and 200 with Sean and whatever him and Danny Garcia did, I forgot what those numbers was, or just because the gate don't make you a star. You know, that don't make you a star. I was just throwing somebody on pay-per-view prematurely. So they said him and Danny did 250. So really they around a 200, 150 mark. So they did 250, cool. So he's saying that, Top Rank didn't do a good job of building. Well, we all know that. But now y'all saying y'all don't have the money. Now he said he not in those negotiations. So apparently they are negotiating. He let the cat out of the bag. This was on the PBC podcast. He let the cat out the bag. They are negotiating. If you listen again, and I can play it again for y'all. Give me a second. I'm going to go right to the point if I can.
Guys, I'm not involved in those talks, but that's just, and I don't know what that number is, but I would think that number, would be very high. I'm not involved in those talks, but that's just.
So he let the cat out of the bag. They are talking. He said that he's not involved in those talks. Excuse me. He says that he's not involved in those talks. That's what he just said. So apparently there are talks going. There are talks. They are having negotiation. They are talking. So he brought that cat out the bag. And they said they're going to fight this year. They said they are going to fight this year. That's what I hear. Long as Errol wins. Now, I don't know if Errol going to take a fight in between them. But it looked like this going to happen. But then again, they go out there, the money team, always talking about how they don't have no money. How does that work? How does that work? How does the money team say we don't have any more money? Seriously. So they crying about economics, which don't make no sense because you could have split the bill. You could have split that bill with Top Rank. Think about that for a minute. They could have split the bill with Top Rank. So, what he's saying about economics and them not being able to pay him. Well, how did they scrape up the money to pay Wilder 20 apiece to fight Dominic Brazil and Luis Ortiz? Come on. Houdini of the businessman, Al Heyman, how don't he have the money? Or can't find the money? Or they not really trying to scrape it up? Or they were not really trying to got the money? They found 50 million for Caleb Plant and Canelo. Come on. So, like I said before, come on. Now they can't afford him. You told him to leave, he left, and now they can't afford him. Come on, man. And it's just further proof what people have been saying. They don't want that fight. If he was Hispanic, this shit would have been made. If Virgil Ortiz, Terence Crawford was in Virgil Ortiz's position and he coming up fighting Michael McKisson on March 19th, bet. And Virgil Ortiz was the other nigga on side of the on Crawford position with the same resume. They If Roger Ortiz asked for $20 million, they will find a way to give him that money or close to that money they can. This dude, Terence Crawford, has conformed to everything Spence had been saying. And maybe people say, well, that would make Spence the A side. You know, he got a belt like Spence said. You know what I'm saying? He said he was on the wrong side of the street. He no longer there. Spence fans say he need to be more vocal, say he want to fight. He called Errol a punk, all types of stuff. You know what I'm saying? He left Bob Errol, you know what I'm saying? And he here. And they call niggas like Town Business and Terence Crawford top ranked whipping boys. Is Muhammad Ali a top ranked whipping boy? That's how Bob Errol got in the game. And Metropolitan say John F. Kennedy sent him in boxing to clean boxing up. But you know, Muhammad Ali, man, down promotions, that's how he got the top rank. That's how he began building top rank. John F. Kennedy, Muhammad Ali. So if Floyd Mayweather a top ranked whipping boy, you know what I'm saying? Fred from Barbershop Conversation always had Bob Errol. Why y'all don't call him a top ranked whipping boy? Even after Bob and them banned him from the fights after the Andre Ward situation. Like I said, I apologize to Andre Ward about that. Let Fred finesse us. And all niggas that was there that day got banned from top rank. You know, they might have found their way back now, but that's what happened. So now this nigga did all this. You know, they said, why he re-signed the top rank? This, that, and the third. They don't try to understand the business. Now he free. Now they talking about economics. We can't give him and Errol what they both want, but you find a way to get Caleb Plant, the white man, and Mexican man, Canelo, what they want and run around the street. That they really did like 200,000 pay-per-views or whatever it was. What they say the number was for that. You know what I'm saying? The brother won't even scoop the money up for the brother. You know? The brother won't even scoop. They said they did 800, so really they said they was doing around the 500 mark. You know what I'm saying? So they can't find the money for the brother, but they consistently find the money for the other. You know, they had to scrape Wilder money up. I'm telling y'all, they had to scrape that nigga money up. And that's messed up. That's messed up. But hey, like I said before, now they crying economics. At this point, like, bruh, only reason you want Terence Crawford because for one, I mean, Errol Spence, if you Terence Crawford for one, he probably about to get all 3 belts. You know? So instead of, you know, Crawford dropping all the belts, Errol dropping all the belts, you have to go fight this guy, that guy, and get him. And you don't have 3 or 4 or 5 years to go through the politics. You know? You can get one shot at one man. If it's Ugas or him, that's what it is. But you want to be compensated. It's not my fault that, you know, Bob Arum spoiled me and gave me a bunch of money. And people with Flame On pointed out, this probably me, Terence been making more money than Errol the whole time. And I told y'all that. Y'all look up the net worth, that probably ain't accurate. Errol ain't touching neither one of them touching that type of, that real money that AJ and Canelo and Floyd was touching. Neither one of them touching that type of money. No, neither one of them. But now it's always barriers, bro. You try to ask yourself, where do they make this type of money at? Where do they make this type of money at elsewhere? Errol got Canelo Alvarez. That's a big weight jump. You know, where do we make this money? He can fight Jermell. He can fight Jermell Charlo. That'll sell. I'm not sure it's gonna bring the Crawford dollars. It might. Rumors that he stopped Jermell and Charlo and training, and you know, Derrick James might have to step aside, might already stepped aside, whatever situation may be. But now economics, not finding the number. I mean, y'all just gotta promote it hard. And y'all, if y'all promoted it hard, what really spoiled them promotional wise was this part of marinating Pacquiao and Mayweather. It was free promotion. They promoted it from 2008, 9-ish. Let's say 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 when they fight. 2013, I think it was. So hold on. 2013. It was even when he fought Canelo Alvarez, it was years of promotion. It was years of promotion, bro, with Canelo fighting on his undercards and doing double features all the way back to HBO days. You know, so he fought Canelo in 2013. He fought Pacquiao in 2015. So you're talking about 8 years, almost a decade of promotion for the Pacquiao fight. If you notice, they did the press conference in LA. They didn't do no promotion for Pacquiao Mayweather. The marination process was the promotion. In the Canelo fighting on Floyd undercard was the fighting guys after Floyd fought like Shane Mosley was the promotion. They don't even know how to promote no more. They don't know how to hit the strip. They don't know how to have them hit the Breakfast Club together, have them hit Sway in the Morning together, buy time on BET. You know what I'm saying? When they buy time on Fox, it's like an hour of boring shit. Pacquiao and Errol was boring. You know, buy time on ESPN Plus or whatever situation may be. So they don't know what they doing, bro. They flushing all this money down the drain. They robbing Peter to pay Paul, man. I had some other information. I'm not gonna dispel it, but they robbing Peter to pay Paul. This shit can come crashing down at any moment. They need to find a gold mine. Like Jeezy say, they need to find a gold mine. If they can find a gold mine, they probably can say they baking, but this shit crashing down anyway. I don't want to see a black business crash down, but this ain't a black business that's about black business. They about every other type of business, Hispanic, white business. They ain't for niggas. Because they look like you don't mean they are you. How you find the money you pay Barrios and Thurman? And it looked like you're going to have a pay-per-view. So this is why I know. We know we had the Martin pay-per-view. You got the Thurman Barrios. You got Errol and Ugas in April, right? Charlo Castane's probably going to be on free TV. It's going to be on regular Showtime in March. March 12th and 19th. So then you also hear you might have Andy Ruiz and Deontay Wilder fighting this year. That's going to be on pay-per-view. Then you might have Charlo Plant. They probably going to throw that on pay-per-view. So, bruh. And he go on and say, same people say we should make the fight, even though they know they hear us. They same people are going to steal the fight. No, if you give us something, even though this fight ain't even premium no more, and let Spence show us what he a beast again. He ain't even premium no more. All right? It ain't even premium. We pay for that fight. We'll go to that fight. Everybody been talking about it. So, like I said before, if you buy something respectable, people will get buyer's remorse and they'll do it. So, hey, like I said before, it is what it is. Let me know what you girls and guys think. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. If you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request, all my social media links, description. Twitter's the fastest way, then Facebook, then Instagram. All links there. If you got a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request, constructive criticism, want to chop it up, links there. Want to make a financial donation, Cash App, CJ, $CJ Good 313, Venmo, CJ Good 313. Rolling at the bottom of the screen in the description. PayPal link exclusively in the description. All the information I spoke on today, username, social media links, all in the description. Best way to donate. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, comment. That subscribe button, it's the bell icon button. Hit all notifications. Increase your chance of notification. We go live or drop a video. So yeah, let me know what you girls and guys think about it, about that audio. That was on the PBC podcast. You go to the PBC podcast website. You put it in Google, it'll come up. Appreciate the love, support. Check the Boxing Sports Way playlist out.